anyone you want to help become a better player. Now today I'm talking about the center defensive midfielder role, CDM, as some as you like to call it. But basically this little player right here who's linking everything up, who's making the team tick, is the heartbeat of the team, okay? Controls the tempo of the team, is the composure of the team. And that's where I want to start. If you want to play this position, you need to have composure and you need to have smart decision making. So what I mean by composure is it doesn't matter how many players are around you, you do not panic. You keep your cool and you make the right decision. Okay, so first of all, your number one priority is keeping possession of the ball, okay? When a player plays into you, he has to be confident that you are not going to lose that ball. Otherwise, you're not going to have a very successful career as a defensive midfielder, okay? This guy needs to be able to play into here and he knows that you're just going to move it out and keep that ball moving, okay? But a lot of times you are going to have time and space to turn. Okay, I want you to think about the tempo of your play. You dictate the team's tempo. So if you're slow on the ball, if your decision making is slow, you take a lot of time to make your pass, okay, the other team's gonna have an easy time defending your team because of you. So when you get that ball, you wanna be quick in your decision making. Even if you're not going forward and you're just moving the ball around the back, okay, it has to be 2 touch, 1 touch. Sometimes you'll take 2, 3 touches when nothing's really on, okay, but you have to think about controlling the speed of play of your team. When you play that ball in there, go show and get it back. You're trying to keep everything moving. Okay, if it's not on, they play back to you. You're the heartbeat, you're the link up. You get that ball from this side and you bring it to that side, okay? But if you're taking too long to do that, he plays into here, it takes you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches. It's not gonna work. You're gonna get closed down so quickly. Your teammates are gonna get closed down. Everyone's gonna get closed down. And you're gonna play the ball and you're gonna put your teammates into trouble, or even worse, you're gonna take too long on the ball and lose possession and they're gonna come and score on us, okay? So think about playing 2 touch, 1 touch, 3 touch sometimes. If there is space to dribble into, take those extra touches, but make sure you're doing it with purpose, okay? But you are the link up man. So let's build on that point, okay? You wanna think about switching the play lots, because if the ball gets played into, let's say the ball is over here, okay? Ball gets played into here, we get closed down, we decide to go back. Okay, if you're here, center defensive midfielder, you get the ball and you decide to come back into here. I mean, sometimes you're gonna decide to do it, you might think that's the best thing. But a lot of times, especially when their team's all shifted here, you play that ball back into here, you're screwing your teammates over because the space is already closed down. Okay, so if you see that it's coming from trouble, you need to get out of trouble, you need to switch. Okay, you need to play that ball here quickly and then we can move because we have space to play. You want to get the ball where there's space to play. Okay, it's very difficult. Yes, if you have good players you can manage, but you're still not making it easy on yourself. It's difficult to get out of these tight situations where they have more players around the ball. We want to get the ball into situations where we have space and we have more numbers around the ball. Okay, so think about, did the ball just come from trouble? Am I putting it back into trouble? Or am I opening up and playing the ball where we have space, where we can attack? Okay, so that's one of your biggest jobs as a center defensive midfielder. If you see there's trouble here, go and get that ball and bring it out of trouble. Help your teammates out, get that ball moving, okay? You have to be able to play quality passes, hopefully in the air, because no one can move as fast as the ball. If you can't play this ball quickly, driven in the air, okay, again, you're gonna always have to play this one, and although it's a good option, it's not the best option, okay? If you can play this ball directly in the air, driven, put it right on his foot, then it makes it so much easier for us because we have time, we have space, and that's how we wanna attack, okay? So think about getting the ball out of trouble. If the ball, they get closed down over here, okay, they have to turn. You want to show, you want to get that ball, and obviously if we can attack, we're going to attack, but we want to play the ball into space, okay, out of trouble. Go get the ball from trouble, and bring it into space where we're out of trouble, okay? That's your job, getting your team out of trouble, being that link up. You're always moving, okay? You're always showing as support to get that ball out of trouble and put it into space where we can attack on the other side of the field. All right, so another thing I want to touch on quickly is ball protection. So you need to be strong on the ball because a lot of times, especially in the center of midfield, I'll make you this guy. In the center of midfield, you're gonna have lots of players around the ball. They're gonna want that ball, okay? That's where most of the players are, is in the center of the field. So if you're weak on the ball and you try to turn and you just get knocked off the ball, it's not gonna work. You need to be strong. So learn to put your butt into players. Learn to use your arms to defend the ball. Just think about using your body more to protect the ball. Don't always have to use your skills. You have to use your physicality. You have to put your butt into the player. You have to shield the ball with your back, your body, your arms, whatever it takes. You have to be willing to be fouled to keep possession of the ball. Okay, so especially in tight areas, obviously the more players are around you, the quicker you want to play the ball out of there and get that going. Okay, but sometimes you're gonna get trapped like this. You have to be willing to put your body on the ball to get out of trouble and then play that pass, or sometimes you get your body in front of that player and they're gonna foul you, and that's how you'll get out of trouble, okay? But think about protecting the ball with your body. Don't just always use your skills, your feet. Use your body to protect that ball. So I talked about distribution, I talked about speed of play. I wanna talk about playing the ball direct sometimes, okay? So when you have the ball as center defensive midfielder, obviously you wanna play the ball into space, like I said, where they have time to play. But you also want to play your ball into dangerous areas, okay? So if I see that the striker has space, I want to get that ball to him as much as possible because he's our big link-up man, okay? And hopefully this is how it works. The ball comes from wide, we play in the middle. We play in the middle, then we want to get the ball back out wide, okay? Because what happens? The ball comes in the middle, everyone has to shift, okay? So when you get that ball from the middle, you want to go back out wide again, or we want to play a through ball into space like that. Okay, but if we're, like I said, we're always trying to go down the middle, plays the ball back, and you're trying to go down the middle, I mean, it can work, but you're going to have a much higher chance if we go wide, you get the ball as a center midfielder, play in, suck the players in, we want to suck them in, then we play that ball in, then we play that ball out into space, okay? So you're going in, out, in, out. We want to suck the ball, suck the defenders in to the middle of the field where the ball is, and then that ball gets to you, you want to play that ball out wide where we have space. All right, so obviously as a center defensive midfielder, you have a job of defending as well, okay? And basically your job is to screen the center back. So a lot of times center half is gonna have one striker to deal with, or they're gonna have two strikers to deal with. You wanna be defending this area here. So you usually have to deal with the attacking midfielder if there is one, or you're gonna have to screen the striker, okay? So if the ball is played into here, I'm not just gonna run at him like this. I wanna cover this angle down, okay? So I know he's trying to play into here. So you're trying to block off that pass. Then when that ball does come into here, okay, a great way to win the ball is double up. So your center half is already here trying to press him backwards. Don't just wait for him to win the ball or hope that he wins the ball and stay here. Get closer to the ball, get two players to the ball, and then you can win possession and play out there. But you have a very big role, defensive role, as a center defensive midfielder player. So you want to think about anticipating passes. Okay, I know he wants to play into there, so I'm going to try to be 1-2 passes ahead of the game to intercept passes, or when that ball gets played in there, I'm going to double up quickly so I can help my team win the ball back and keep possession. Okay, so think about that. And obviously, number one, you have to be willing to track back. If you're playing center defensive midfielder and your team loses possession up here and you're jogging back, you're not going to cut it. You got to sprint back. You got to help your teammate out. You're pretty much a third center half, playing a little in front of the center halves when it comes to defending, okay? So you need to always be back here. You need to be blocking shots. You need to be screening passes. You need to be doubling up when you have the chance. You need to be winning that ball. That's a very important role as a center defensive midfielder. Okay, so this is a lot of stuff that I'm throwing at you. Finally, I'm just going to say that it's very important as the CDM, if you want to score goals, you need to get forward. Again, so I said, yes, number one, you need to track back because this is your role. Your role is distributing the ball and defending, helping the back line defend. Okay, but you also want to be involved in the attack, so you need to get forward. If there's cross being played in the box, you want to be in this area around the top of the box. So anything that comes out, you can just lace it one time, or you can play the ball. If you get closed down here, you can play the ball wide for another counter attack to come in. Okay, but you need to be involved. If you're always waiting back here as a center defensive midfielder, you're not going to be involved in the attack. So if you see your teammates getting forward, get around the top of the box here. And then you also need to be comfortable taking long shots. So that's something you really want to practice. You want to be comfortable in this 25, 35 meter range to have a shot when it comes out. Now, the only way that you're going to be great at all these things is obviously practicing. So watching this tactics video isn't going to make you a better shooter. It's not going to make you a better passer of the ball. So take pride in every practice that you have, every game. Make the most of every situation. Make sure you're training hard individually on your own. And over time, you're going to become a better player with better skills who makes better decisions on the field. Okay, so think about that. Tempo of the play. Everything goes through you. If you're slow, your team is going to play slow. Try to get the ball out of trouble. So go get the ball from trouble and bring it out. Go to the other side where your team has space to attack. Think about going in and out. So you're always supporting the player on the ball, trying to get that ball and then play it out into wide positions or play a through ball for someone making a run. Defensively, you want to help out your center halves. You're always trying to double up on the striker, where you're trying to anticipate the play and block passes into the striker. But really the biggest thing that you can do is make sure that your center halves communicate with you. So you're playing there, say, hey, make sure you guys talk to me. If I'm out of position, get me back into position. Because they can see everything. You can't always see what's behind you. Obviously, you should be looking over your shoulder, always seeing. But tell these guys to communicate with you. If I'm out of position, yell at me. Okay, make sure I'm in position. Make sure I'm covering these passes. Or tell me to go left, tell me to cover right. Okay, and that will make your life a lot easier as that center defensive midfielder. Anyway, I hope you